Yesterday, an article was released on Dextero's website. I'll provide a link to the full article in the description. The article goes in to say that Diablo 4 GM confirms annual expansions for the game. We're going to take a look at this article and we're going to mix it all together with everything we already know. And I'm going to give you my prediction for the outlook for Diablo 4 and another game in the next 12 months. See you on the other side. So basically, looks like Rod Ferguson, Diablo's general manager, did another interview, and I'm not going to go over it. Basically, all I want to pull out of it is that he confirmed they're going to continue to support Diablo for years in the future. And really what I wanted to highlight is right here. And basically, Rod Ferguson says, you know, it's years and years. That's the thing we're focused on. When you look at the launch of the game and this first season, we see that as a building a foundation on which we can build for the future. So as we look at our quarterly seasons and we look at our annual expansions, those are the things that we really focused on for our live service. So it looks like they're going to continue to stick with the quarterly seasons. And now it looks like they've confirmed that they're going to do annual expansions. So I wanted to take this article and confirmation of that strategy for Diablo 4, and I wanted to mix it in with everything that we already know. And I want to talk about what I believe is going to be the future of Diablo 4 in the next 8 to 12 months. Because as we know, PoE 2, sorry to bring it up, its beta testing is going to be in the summer of 2024. And to me, it creates the biggest risk for Diablo 4 moving forward. And I'm going to demonstrate why. If you guys remember in one of my videos, I talked about this potential seasonal time frame for Diablo 4. And at the time, we were only aware of exactly the dates of Season 1, which we knew already when it started, and we knew that it was going to end on October 17th. Now, since the release of that video and me creating this chart, we now know that Season 2 starts on the 17th. We don't know the end date, but if you consider the quarterly time frame, we know it's going to end sometime in end of December, beginning of January, which means Season 3 will begin in January and end sometime March, April, and then Season 4 will take us into the summer. Now, if you take everything that we know today, we know that they are going to be taking care of some of the quality of life issues in Season 2 and 3, vis-a-vis the gems not occupying our slots. And there's also going to be some sort of filtering system or better stash management. Okay, 2 and 3. I forget in which order, to be quite honest with you. And if I'm not mistaken, they said potentially Season 3, Season 4 for leaderboards. Okay, this is what we know. And guys, if I've missed anything, please add your comments into the comments section. But just off of the top of my head, that's what I remember. Now, why do I mention this? I mention this because, great, we now have confirmation of the fact that Diablo 4, according to Rod Ferguson, the GM of Diablo, the franchise, we are now going to have annual passes. So around Season 4, vis-a-vis next summer, beginning of next summer, middle of next summer, potentially there could be a annual expansion. And we know that they have one of the teams working on Diablo 4 is in reference to just expansions. So it makes sense. They're probably working on it, have been working on it, and are going to be working on it until 2024 summer. So got it. Now, there's one caveat to this, okay? So we're going to be in season 4 of Diablo 4, which, if you listen to the majority of the player base, most would say that this game is not going to be fixed till season, best case scenario, 3, probably 4, and maybe 5. Okay, so that's kind of the time frame if you were to take a survey of their player base. Heck, part of the player base feels this game will never get fixed, but let's go with that, okay? So season 4, season 5. That takes us in to the summer, past the summer. And there's only one problem. See, Path of Exile 2 is going to have its beta. We only know, we have confirmation of the beta. I believe it's sometime in June. I forget the exact date. Okay, so beta testing is going to be happening on Path of Exile 2. And we already know that the beta testing, unlike Diablo 4, where we were restricted to Act 1, Path of Exile 2, we've heard from GGG that the full game will be available on beta testing. So people are going to be able to experience the full game during beta testing, which means the hype is going to get even bigger, in my opinion. And number 2, what really is going to be the nail on the coffin for Diablo 4, if we think about the barrier to entry to Path of Exile, has always been the complexity of the game. It's not user friendly to new players vis-a-vis the skill tree, all the mechanics that are involved when it comes to crafting, and you have to go on third-party websites, and on and on and on and on. These are all the barriers to entry that new players looking to play Path of Exile have heard, and then when they think about it, they're like, you know what, it's too complicated, I'm not going to play it. Well, we have an idea so far that PoE 2 is going to remove some of that complexity. Okay, so the fact that they're going to remove some, now we don't know the full details, but to me that means they're going to demystify and lower the learning curve when it comes to learning the game and the mechanics. Now, of course, they're not going to dilute it. That's what makes Path of Exile what it is. And also, they don't want to hurt or piss off the current player base. Okay, so number 1, the barrier to entry is going to be reduced. Sorry. Number 2, we all saw the game footage of PoE 2, and PoE used to be graphically inferior to Diablo 4. It will no longer be graphically inferior when PoE 2 launches. That game looks stunning. So to me, the 2 biggest deterrents for new players playing Path of Exile are going to drastically be eliminated. And to me, that's going to open up the floodgates. And looking at the current timeline as we know it today for Diablo 4, this is just a head-on collision that Diablo 4 is not going to be able to walk away from. Well, that'll do it, everyone. That's my prediction, and it's not a good one for Diablo 4. I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts on the timeline? What are your thoughts on the fact that Diablo 4, through Rod Ferguson, has announced that they're going to have annual expansions? And remember, I forgot to mention in my argument that Path of Exile 2 is going to be free. It's free. their seasons are free. So that's going to be another nail on the coffin, in my opinion. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this topic? What do you think about the fact that they're now going to include annual expansions in Diablo 4? What are your thoughts on PoE 2? Do you agree with my assessment that it received a major bump in graphics? And do you agree with the fact that they're lowering the barrier of entry? So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. For those of you this is the first video of mine that you've watched, thank you for watching. If you could like and comment on the video, I would really appreciate it. And if you could find it in your heart to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We've had a lot of subscribers in the last month and a half. And to all you new subscribers that are watching this video, welcome. Thank you so much. And for those of you that have continued to support me since day one, thank you so much. It really, really means a lot to me. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.